Hello, my name is Andrew, and today I'll be giving a speech that talks about how Outkast helped influence Southern hip hop by shaping how it would sound and helping popularize Southern hip hop and bringing it into mainstream rap. Before I begin my speech, I'd like you to just take a minute to think about who your favorite artist or musician is and think about who or what really influences them. Now, there is a good chance that in some way they have been influenced by Outkast, and you probably don't even realize that. There's also a good chance that you know who Outkast is, despite you thinking you don't know who they are, as you've more than likely heard one of their more popular songs, which includes "Hey Ya," "Miss Jackson," "So Fresh and So Clean." Many people know these songs, and they don't even realize that it was from Outkast. In this speech, I will talk about how Outkast shaped Southern hip hop, how they brought more attention to it, and how their influence is seen today in modern hip hop. First, I'm going to talk about how Outkast shaped the sound of Southern hip hop. Prior to them releasing Southern Playlistic Cadillac Music, really there was no one in the South making music. And so when they released that album, which was their debut album, all the sounds that were on it were really kind of like the beginning of Southern hip hop. So those were like the early sounds of Southern hip hop, which many artists who followed after them would kind of copy. One of these artists is Ludacris. If you listen to his debut album, Word of Mouth, it has a very similar sound and very similar instruments as Southern Playlistic Cadillac Music did. According to Glenisha Morgan, Outkast was taking ideas of the South and Southernness and remixing it to apply it to hip hop. So what they did is they took the idea of Southern hospitality and talking about Southern cities, and they incorporated that into their songs, which helped give Southern hip hop a more unique sound compared to the rest of hip hop at that time. Um, and to go even further, Nadine Graham said talks about how Southern Playlistic Cadillac Music was all original instrumentation. It had a flowy funk and soul sound to it, which was completely different compared to the East and West Coast, which had more of that gangster rap kind of sound and didn't really have original instrumentation, which helped make Southern hip hop have that more unique sound, which separated it from the other coasts. Moving on, not only did Outkast help lay down the blueprint of how Southern hip hop would sound, but they also helped popularize it. At the time when Southern Playlistic Cadillac Music came out, there were really only two coasts for hip hop, which was the East and the West Coast, and everybody was focused on those two coasts due to all the emergent artists that were coming from there, like Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Nas, Biggie Smalls, Tupac, and they were also focused on the feud going on between the two, that they could care less about what was going on in the South. But after Outkast released Southern Playlistic Cadillac Music, they kind of helped put the South on the map as people realized, okay, this doesn't have a bad sound to it and it sounds pretty good. And then Outkast would later in that year win the award for Best Upcoming Artist. And that event was held in New York. And the group that they beat was from New York originally. So the whole crowd was booing them the whole time when they won the award and were giving their speech, as they felt that Outkast stole the award from them since they were like in their hometown pretty much. And so during their speech, Andre 3000, when he was giving his speech, was pretty much saying, "We don't care what you guys are thinking. It's our time now." And he said, "The South got something to say," which Ben Brosh described as it being the battle cry for Southern hip hop. As once he said that, everybody in the South kind of united together and were like, "We're going to do our own thing. We don't care if they like us or not. We're still going to do our thing." And that really helped popularize Southern hip hop. And after that, you just saw a bunch of artists releasing music from down there, and you just see Southern hip hop creep its way into mainstream rap. Finally, Outkast's influence is still seen today in modern hip hop, and many of modern artists today are influenced by Outkast in some way. Um, According to Max Welford, he said Outkast helped open the doors to eccentricity and allowed for more wild and experimental figures to grow within hip hop, which at the time when they came out wasn't really seen. But Andre 3000 and Big Boy dressed in a way that was more flamboyant and they had crazy hairstyles and just did whatever they wanted. So that kind of helped lay a new foundation down that, hey, artists can do whatever they want and dress however they want and look however they want. And if they don't care what other people think, then they could just continue to do what they want to do. And that is seen today by a lot of artists, which if Outkast didn't set that standard, there may be artists that didn't even become popular because they weren't able to express themselves freely. Modern day artists that are influenced by Outkast include 2 Chainz, ASAP Rocky, mostly Southern rappers for the most part. Modern day rap has seen several features from Andre 3000 from artists including Kid Cudi, Frank Ocean, Kanye West, Travis Scott, which just shows how even today Outkast is still seen in hip hop and still has an influence in it as well. To summarize, Outkast helped set the standard of Southern hip hop by helping form a unique sound for it. They also helped with popularizing the genre and bringing it into mainstream rap. And they also laid a foundation that many modern day artists follow and were influenced and are influenced by. Um, Thank you for your time. I really hope that you enjoyed my speech and that you learned just how influential Outkast really is and was. And thank you.